was your first, like, what, how old was you when you got your first job?
I was 13. My mother put me to work. I was working at a retirement home called Jewish Home and Hospital on the Upper West Side, actually like 2 blocks away from where I live now.
Yeah.
And it was a summer job, and I didn't get paid. It was a volunteer. I literally
What?
had like a little tag that said volunteer. My mother just basically didn't want me in the streets fucking around. I was at that age already, 13. I started doing graffiti, and
Were you like buying your own clothes then? Like, when did you start like really getting into like developing your sense of personal style?
elementary school, because like I feel like growing up here, like you never wanted to be a herb, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and the first thing that kind of like you were judged upon was always your appearance, you know. And for me, you know, like I couldn't grow a flat top. You know what I mean? Like there's no matter how hard I try, I didn't have my rhythm down yet. Like in the 4th grade, I always remember I was traumatized. I went to this girl Corinne's birthday party, cute black girl, and I was like literally the only Latin kid invited. And I think like Big Daddy Kane came on, and they started doing the Roger Rabbit and the Running Man. I couldn't do any of that, dude. Like I still had like my side part, pretty much the haircut I got now, but like minus a fade. You know, like I literally had like this haircut. And
I like that.
thank you. And I had to sit down. Because I couldn't dance.
So it's like Lil Angelo.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Next one. I'll get up and dance. So I had to look good, you know. Like I have my Bugle Boy jeans, you know. Like it's just, I don't know. It didn't really come together till like junior high. You know, like junior high is when it really became like a thing. Like,
Is that when you were getting like canal jeans? Because I heard about canal jeans.
Canal jeans wasn't till, well, canal jeans came into play in high school. Like canal jeans, there's this place called Canal Jean Company on Broadway. And before that, I'll tell you another story. Not another story, but there was a store called Unique on Broadway that my sister used to take me to. A big influence in my life is my sister. I have an older sister. She's 6 years older than me, and my sister was kind of like my big brother. You know, my sister's a thug. You met my sister. My sister's a thug. I'm not a thug. My sister's a thug. And so my sister, she had the big hoop, like the big bamboos, and like, you know, the 4X, like, you know, Gap anorak with like Timberlands on, and, you know, cross-colored jeans or whatever. So my sister used to, by force, had to take me wherever she went, which is why she hated me, you know? So my mother was like, oh, if you're going to go there, you got to take him. So my sister used to hang out on Broadway back in like 89, 90, you know? And we used to hang out in front of Unique. And that's kind of, wow. Now I was just starting to realize why I like to hang out on Broadway. My sister's the one who taught me how to hang out on Broadway.
Yeah.
So there was a store Unique, and then there's a store Canal Jean Company, and it was 2 brothers that owned those stores. And it was just kind of like 2 of the like most influential shops, you know, at the time. Like Unique, they had like a little airbrush set up in the front, so you could bring your jean jackets or your jeans to get airbrushed or whatever. And I remember they had like a glow in the dark room. Like it was just so fucking cool, man. Like, and that's the shit that kind of got me hyped. Like I gotta come back here. Like this is where I need to be at, you know. And I was only like 12 years old. I was like, you know, 10, 11, hanging out with my sister, you know, downtown on Broadway. And then once I got the balls to like start hopping the train, me and my boy Moda used to sneak downtown and like hang out at the McDonald's on Broadway, like on West 4th and Broadway. And we thought we were like all like big teenagers and shit, you know, and like smoke cigarettes and shit. So and then when I was old enough to apply for Canal Jean Company when I turned 18, I got a job there. That was my first retail job. My boy Scott, wherever you at, I miss you, man. My high school best friend, Scott Strickland, he got me a job at Canal Jean Company.
And how long were you working at Canal?
I worked there for a year. I worked in the men's department. I remember my favorite thing was dressing the mannequins, because they would get like off-price double RL and polo and stuff like that. So there was always good shit to like dress up the mannequins. I don't know, I had a good time. There's always girls coming through too, man. And there was mad girls that worked at Canal Jean Company too, like all different.
So, like, did you know then when you were dressing mannequins that, like, you wanted to work in fashion?
No, I was going to community college. I thought I was gonna be a social studies high school teacher. I like getting fly. I guess, you know, back to your original question, like, I just remember vividly to this day, like, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, like that's what I wanted to be. And obviously I don't look like that, you know. Like you look at me, like just imagine me, you know, like a foot shorter, chubby, you know, fucking a goofy cowlick haircut, like that, just no matter what.
Yeah.
But that's always to me what I wanted to be, you know what I mean? Like that's what, and I would see kids in school, you know, with the Gumby and all that. I'm like, fuck man, I wish I could be cool as Raheem, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that just was never me. And so I had to like appropriate that and make it my own, you know. And when I started kind of like getting my own self-confidence and being able to get my money up and buy my own shit in high school, and not be dictated by like my mother's budget, you know what I mean? Or like steal shit with my friends.
What was your real entry into? I guess you were working at Stussy, yeah.
I started reaching out to Jeff Staple, and Jeff.
Shouts out to Jeff Staple. I didn't realize, I forgot kind of, that when I first graduated from college, Jeff Staple didn't hire me. Hold on, because you know they tell you to dress for success.
Yeah.
And I went to an interview for Reed Space, and I was dressed like I was going to a job interview. And I guess he was like, nah, this is like, you know, a streetwear store. So then he saw me like 2 months later, like on the street, like in sneakers and a hoodie. He was like, why didn't you just wear this? And I was like, because in college they tell you to dress for success. So, but Jeff, he helped me out a lot actually, trying to help me, you know, get some jobs. So thank you, Jeff Staple.
Uncle Jeff.
So how did you meet Will?
Will Whitney, I met him at Stussy. So when I was in need of a job, I asked Jeff, and Jeff introduced me to my boss now, James Jebbia. And he was like, they're going to open up a store on Worcester Street, a Stussy store, and they need staff. You know, and he recommended me to James, and I went to go meet James. And that was probably, like, that was my first, like, I don't want to say unprofessional, but, like, it wasn't, like, a traditional interview, you know, like I went in.
What year is this? Give me this.
This is 2000. I went in. This is 2000. Like, and I was just like, I was full on like backpack nerd. You know, like I probably had like a long ass, you know, like Writer's Bench T-shirt or 10 Deep or whatever. You know what I mean? Like back then, and like a Zaran backpack, and I had long hair down here. And he just looked at me up and down. He was like, "All right, I'll call you." And then like. A day or two later, he was like, yo, I need you in front of the this is when Stussy was still in Prince. He was like, I need you in front of the Stussy store. We're going to be moving shit over. You need to be here at 9:30 in the morning, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, that was my introduction into, like, what is now called streetwear. Like, and then after Stussy, I worked at this store, Nom de Guerre. It was a sub-basement level spot on Bleecker and Broadway, and I was like, damn, I was like, this is cool, but, you know, so I don't know if this is going to work, right? But, you know, I really believe in Issa's vision. Like, Issa, at the time, had owned a store called Issa in Williamsburg, and he had kind of like at the time, the first ever, you know what I mean, of, like, having mixed brands. Like, I like bringing, like, semi-high-end shit to Williamsburg, like, when other people weren't really doing it. So he was ahead of his time, you know, and to me, even though Issa's only a year older than me, he might as well have been 10, you know, because he owned his own store, you know, he was just kind of cooler, you know. I don't know, I just thought he was really fucking cool. Their older brothers and mentors to me, you know, Will kind of disciplined me in how to run a store, and Issa taught me how to buy for a store. You know, what do customers want? You know, like, it's not all about your opinion. You know, sometimes the things that you love won't sell. You know, the things that you hate will be kind of like the best seller. You know,
Yeah.
So he really trusted me to, like, you know, send me to shows and give me these. You know, he gave me a rock to run with. And we started our own wave. You know, Nom de Guerre. We had, you know, it was a good time period. We did our thing. We made noise. I did really good there. My boy Bobby that I used to work with at Stussy hit me up and he was like, yo, James wants to talk to you. He was like, no, he really wants to talk to them. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get to it. And then like 2 days later, Bobby was like, yo, I just got barked at because James thinks I didn't tell you to call him. Can you please call him? And I was like, all right, fine, I'll call him. So I called him and we talked. And he was like, yo, I would like to know if you're interested in coming over here to work for Supreme. You know, like, certain things are happening right now. And, you know, I really like, I've been watching you and seeing what you're doing at Nom de Guerre, because I wasn't just a store manager, you know. You know, I was doing art shows for them. Like, I did the Mary Pole show. Mary Pole lived in our buildings, like, super dope Polaroid photographer from the early 80s. I also learned how to be nice to stylists, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, when stylists want to pull stuff from the store, you know, like, I cut them some slack, and all that stuff kind of paid back when I started working for Supreme. So getting called from James always compared to like getting called from George Steinbrenner. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you want to come to the big leagues? You know, that's cool what you've been doing in the minors, but like, you want to do it on the main stage now. And I went and I literally had like 20 meetings with James to kind of figure out what the hell I was gonna do, because I had no idea what the fuck I was gonna do. And I started working for Supreme in 2006. I left Nom de Guerre.
So like, now that you're, you know, seasoned, you've been working, you said, with Supreme now for what, since 2000?
It's gonna be 10 years.
Oh, 2006.
Yeah.
So 2006, and obviously everybody pretty much knows you because now men shop as much as women, according to the Wall Street Journal. And now you're in a position where there are a lot of like younger guys coming in the game, and you're almost like, you're the big homie now. Like, how do you feel being the big homie? Having these kind of like younger guys in the game come to you and like seek your kind of your guidance in the industry.
I'm flattered for one. You know, I'm humbled, and I think where I'm at right now in life, like I'm definitely ready to be in more of a mentor position, and I'm okay with that. You know, because I don't feel threatened. You know, and I feel like that's kind of like the early lesson that I learned, me coming up like hungry, like being really hungry, and I felt like the generation before me did an amazing job at suppressing my generation. Like they never really extended that hand, with the exception of like, you know, the occasional Jeff Staples, you know, but that was far and few, you know, like that didn't happen a lot. So I always had in the back of my head that I never wanted to be like that, you know, like with anyone coming up, that I wanted to be able to kind of like, you know, pass down the knowledge, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make me a better person by keeping it to myself. So like, you know, it's one of those, like I said before, as much as I need them, you know, as much as they need me, I need them too, you know what I mean? And I try to give them that respect, and I try to play them. That's
kind of big of you to say, because I don't think someone at your level, you know, usually is humble enough to say that you need them, because you don't need to be surrounded by everybody on your level, because then you don't know. You have to be able to still have, I guess, an ear to the street and see what the kids really want and what they're feeling. So, you know, I guess that's very humble. On to something aside from streetwear. You're a big music person. So, to finish it, I want to know.
Are we going to end now?
So,
yeah, okay.
You're making a sad track, right?
I'm making a sad track.
You're making a sad track. Because Angelo is... I didn't really know about the Sad Browns, like people who listen to... I thought Morrissey was dead.
He's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive.
I thought he was dead because, you know, you and our good friends are kind of a cultish about the Smiths and The Cure and all this. So you're making one song. You're like Quincy Jones making We Are the World. Yeah. It's a sad song.
Sad song.
Who's on this sad song?
I mean, Morrissey, obviously. We Are the World of Sad Music. Dude, man, I feel like he's the most glum guy I know, man. Like, I don't know, it would just be too much to put anyone else on it. I mean, I would say Robert Smith, but the thing is that there's so much sad ego in there that they would just, it would just kind of like kibosh the whole project, you know, where like it would drown out the sadness. You know, I don't think you could really out-sad one or nothing, you know? But I'd be more like to like orchestrate the saddest track, you know, you know, like as opposed to like bring like the all-star team.
All-star sad team.
All-star. I mean, I wish I could have like an all-star like song that, you know, just to hear a song would be like Sade, Gil Scott-Heron, Hector Lavoe, Morrissey, La Lupe, Celia Cruz, you know, Joe Bataan. You know, if I could hear all that in one song, I would probably just drop dead. Like after the song was over, I'd be like.
Okay, so what is the name of this sad song?
Damn.
Oh, the project. It's like a compilation disc of sadness. What is it called?
Probably call it Tristeza, which means sadness in Spanish.
Sadness in Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, gracias for coming.
I know you're fluent, girl.
I'm bilingual.
You dating a Puerto Rican?
Not bisexual. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
For opening up and coming out to apartment 306 where the motherfucking players sit.
Out in Brooklyn.
Out in Brooklyn. Angelo Baque.
That's me.
Thank you.
Thank you.